Okay, so we are back with mission 5 of Alien, the role-playing game by Free League. And gentlemen, would you say that we're in a bit of a hot situation?
Slightly.
That's one way to put it.
Seven stress dice. I'm fine.
Well, it's not that hot for me because I'm frozen, so I'm chilling through this whole situation. Yeah.
I'm strapped to a chair with one leg as a stump. Various parts of my body are like they're completely bleeding, destroyed. I'm looking down at my leg, discarded like it's a duffel bag, and in the meantime, there's acid burning through the roof. I can hear the commotion outside and through the comms, and literally I'm sitting at guns, and there's nothing I can shoot except the two prisoners, which are my friends, more Marines, which are blindfolded, and I'm just helpless and couldn't go anywhere if I wanted to, and I can't go anywhere because I'm strapped there and don't have a leg. So we're fine.
So you don't have a leg to stand on?
Oh, and you said my joke was horrible. Anyhow, let's go. Keep going.
Patches in similar desperate straits with 2 arms which don't function properly, and Bodhi likewise has 1 arm that's not functioning properly, and Kaminski is limping. And so if you take a look at the engagement page in Teams, it paints a pretty horrifying and colorful picture of
now, you should share that for people watching at home.
Well, I shared it in the previous video right at the end where we break to the discussion. You can get a look at what I'm talking about. And
this is like what the lieutenant sees in Aliens. Into Apone Hudson.
Right, as all the screens go to snow. Yeah.
Talk to me.
Okay. So let's do a situation rep and then get into play as quickly as I can. One question that I did have, though, is that for 2 sessions in a row, Ivan has been kind of the strap to a chair guy. He's been carried from place to place, hasn't really had a chance to be active. The only characters available in the moment are the 2 hostages, who are definitely disadvantaged, and we have Jumper. If you wanted to take on any of these characters, that would be fine. Or if you want to stick with Baxter and
I'm sticking with Baxter till the very end, and I'm
till the bitter end.
There. Till the bitter end.
That was the right answer.
That's how you do it.
Is acid bitter or is it somehow sweet? I wonder.
Your tongue doesn't survive long enough to taste it.
On the bitter side, I imagine. Maybe sour.
Then, so we have the Cheyenne number 2, which is not outfitted for an APC, right? It just has lockers and a narrow crew space, similar to the environment inside the APC, right? And you had to access out the back. So Kaminski and Jumper, surreptitiously snuck around, one side of the Cheyenne while, heavily bandaged Patch is carrying the box with eggs in it with Rios, and they go down the other side with 2 guards. And in front of the Cheyenne, there were hostages and 2 guards and 2 working Joes, presumably there to do some heavy lifting or something along those lines, because they did not react during the entire combat which resulted, right? So Kaminski took out the 2 guards dealing with the hostages. Rios and Patch took out one of the guards dealing with them, and from the roof of the Cheyenne, an alien tail came and speared the last one. And all of this coincided with panic levels rising throughout. And we are on the 2nd level in the docking bay, right? And there's a map available in Teams called Docking Bay if you want to refresh yourself on that. But there are many different access points on the 2nd level and on the ground level that you can make use of. and we are familiar that if we head toward the rear of the ship, we'll gain access to cryogenics, the Marine briefing room, the Marine lockers, and sick bay. And then we go beyond that section and we get toward the engine and engineering sections of the ship, which you learned last time from the co-pilot who helped you get off the surface of the planet, is in control of your squad of Marines. They have control of the engine room and they have control of the weapons room. So the weapons can be controlled remotely from the bridge and they can be controlled remotely from Mother, but they're actually in the mechanical guts of it. And so they have canceled or disconnected those automated drives. So Lim is in a warship that he can't use for offensive purposes. They have the weapons control and they have control of the engine. Lim, however, has cryo, and he has the docking bay where you are, and he has the bridge, and he has control of Mother, the AI, which controls the ship. So that is your situation, right? You're in a docking bay. There are 2 working Joes standing in front of the Cheyenne. There's very limited space around the Cheyenne to navigate. And if you want to stay on this level, you have 2 like catwalks, corrugated steel catwalks to cross to get to the far side of the docking bay. Or you can take lifts down, or you can take stairs down, or you can try jumping if you like, but I don't recommend it to get down to the next level. Right. So,
and between us and the door is where the Joes with the hostages are.
Right. So the hostages, they're manacled and they're blindfolded and they're wearing nothing but hospital gowns. They have obvious signs of torture and deprivation. Remember, you were on the surface for weeks.
Right.
Right. And according to Lim, the pilots that he sent down with the Cheyenne were on his side now. Right. They had undergone forceful persuasion.
Yeah.
Right. However, talking to them on the way back up, just being reunited with you has kind of awakened them to their duties and responsibilities. They probably believed you were all dead. Right. But at the same time, they're making no movement to get in the fray. They don't have it in them to fight back against Lim. They'll tell you anything you want, but they're mentally broken, right? These 2 pilots. Okay. Any questions before we launch? We
just
have
a quick
Patch.
refresher.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, as long as we know like what the initiative order is right now, I think that's fine. As long as somebody has that. I don't really.
So here we go. We've got on one narrow strip down the side of the Cheyenne, we have Patch pulling Rios. Rios has lost his slow action from the previous round and is going to lose his slow action for this round. Right? It does give him access to a fast action like taking cover, running away, whatever. It's being pulled by Patch toward the hostages. The hostages very stoically are holding their ground in case this mysterious sniper who's been shooting past them needs them to hold their ground. All right.
Right.
Patch has called out run, but they held their ground anyway for various reasons, not the least of which is they can't see. Right.
They got blindfolds, and are their arms tied with zip ties that we can
Manacles.
see, or
Manacles.
or metallic
manacles? Yeah.
Oof.
Okay. And the working Joes are simply standing there doing nothing. And Kaminski and Jumper are on the other side. They didn't see the alien. They heard the acid earlier on, which then ate its way through the roof and the floor of the Cheyenne, which Baxter saw, but Baxter hasn't seen any sign of the alien. The only people who've seen the alien are Patch and Rios, who saw it pierce the chest of the last guard and pull him up on top of the roof. of the Shining.
And the two former pilots are inside with Baxter.
Right.
That's good to know.
And all that money.
Right.
Millions of dollars. Okay.
New plans. Allow the ship out, fellas. They're done for. All right. We can buy me a leg.
But you passed your empathy check. The money is
Yes.
meaningless to you. It's these two guys, Kaminski and Rios, that we have to worry about with their suddenly green eyes. Okay. The initiative order is that Kaminski is on 1, right? As long as he's working in tandem with Jumper as an NPC, she'll be lending assistance to whatever he does on that 1. If she separates, then she'll be on initiative order of 2. Currently, she's on Overwatch. Rios is on 5. Patch is on 6. And Baxter on Overwatch is on 10.
Yep.
Okay. The alien was acting on 3.
Right.
And all the remaining NPCs are down. So if reinforcements come, they will be acting on 3. And the last thing that happened was Baxter went out over the comms to Lim, informing him what?
But
You're like, your specimen. You might want to get down here. Your specimen has escaped. Need some help.
all right. So number 1 is Kaminski.
All
Kaminski.
right, so I kind of like nudge Jumper just to make sure she's aware of the big monster that's standing on top of the ship, which is what I asked her to be on Overwatch for anyway. So
Right.
So it's like, and then I talk over the comms. It's like, Rios, you think this is a fucking picnic? Get your act together.
Nice.
Remember that the comms may be automatically unscrambled by the Montebello, right?
Right. Yeah. But
Commander.
and I'm gonna have to push that.
1 stress.
I got it. 1-6.
Okay.
Nice.
So add a stress to Kaminski and
That removes
Your-
the frozen. Yeah.
your state of panic resets back to below 7.
Cool.
This takes the whole slow action for Kaminski. So which brings us to Rios, right? Who's got Kaminski in his ear.
Right. But this has snapped me out. So technically I have my slow action available again.
Yes.
What about the aliens on 3?
The alien's on
Oh,
3. There's
that's
no
right.
sign of the alien
Okay,
at all. So I'm not going to tell you what it's doing.
got it.
I'm being pulled back by Patch. So I'll I'm on the comms as well. I say to the Marines inside, I don't know their names, but Roberts, Smith, get Baxter out of there. The alien is on top of the craft. I think it's on top of the craft. Get him out of there. I have lost my M4 rifle, I believe.
No,
Right.
you don't have ammo.
You don't have any ammo for it, but it's still on its
Okay.
strap.
Oh, okay. So I'm technically armed. Okay.
Yes. And you have your
Uh,
sidearm.
Right. Yeah, but I don't need to waste time on getting that. So fall back, we gotta get out. We gotta get down to the first level. And I'll start moving back, going with Patch. I'm gonna, with my slow action, I'm gonna pull out a nap relief and hit myself with it. Because I'm really stressed out. So and moving back toward the hostages, right? And surveying, I just noticed they got metallic manacles, so it's not zip lines that I could slash with a knife. So I'll just grab, if that's too many actions. So I'll try, and my next idea is to pull the blindfold off.
We have
one or
an
both.
order, which is a slow action, and we have the taking out the nap relief. So
Okay.
we're good. Which brings us to Patch. Looks like Rios is going to self-medicate again, and no sign of the alien, right? And in this large docking bay, it's not clear if the echoing sounds you're hearing is just cooling metal or if it's that guard being torn apart.
Right. As soon as, I mean, I've got Rios by the handle, and as soon as he kind of gets his wits about him and is able to get under his own feet, obviously I let go. And I am beelining it for the hostages. So
Right,
I'm
they're right there.
momentum.
You're in short range. Yep.
Okay, great. So, and the Joes are armed or not armed?
No, they're not armed. They're just standing there.
So I want to reach up for at least one of them. If I can get two, I want to take their blindfolds off. And then if I have a slow, if that's my slow action, then I'm done. Just want to I'm everything I'm focused on is getting everybody to the door.
Okay.
So, and I want everybody in front of me.
Okay. So it's difficult with your bandages to get their blindfolds off.
Okay.
But you manage it, right? So we're all together in a clump. We've got Kaminski and Jumper at the front of the Cheyenne. We have the two hostages at the front of the Cheyenne. We have Patch and Rios at the front of Cheyenne, and inside the Cheyenne, who have to go out the back and around, are Baxter and the two pilots, Roberts and Smith.
And Patch yelled "run," and they didn't respond. And as soon as those eye patches come off, as soon as the blindfolds come, I don't know why I'm calling them eye patches, but as soon as the blindfolds come off, I think everybody hears a voice that's never come out of Patch before, and it's "run." Like eye contact with each one of them, and just a level of command he has never ever shown.
Well, let's try that. Let's command them. Where are they supposed to go? Right, just run in place. Where do you want them to go?
I want them to go to the door. I want everybody off this catwalk. I want them to go to the door that they came from, right? Because that's the only access off of this catwalk, if I understand things correctly.
There are 3 points of egress from this catwalk, right? Down in a lift and across 2 catwalks to the other side. There are
the left then. Yeah, I want everybody on the lift. Yeah. All right. So
aft is towards cryo.
Yeah, aft is towards cryo.
And does the gantry get us to cryo, or do we have to go down first floor?
Second floor.
Because we're on second floor. We can if we stay on the gantry, we can run aft, and that leads us to cryo.
Right.
I'm confirming that.
Yes, you are correct.
Aft.
Which is held by Lim's forces.
Correct. But that was our original plan, was to storm.
Right. You got to go through cryo and that section to get to sickbay. Yes.
Right.
Success, but 2 face huggers.
Okay.
So I need to roll on the panic.
Yes. Your current state of panic is an 8. So regardless of what you get, it's increasing to 9 or higher.
So D6 plus my stress, right?
Yeah.
-2.
-2.
13 minus 2, 11.
Not bad.
Killer.
It's good.
Okay. Seek cover.
Yes.
Which is exactly what you ordered.
Yeah.
Right. There is no cover here at the Cheyenne, right? So I'm picturing bandages and pushing the
Yeah.
the hospital gowned Marines backwards down the gantry.
Yeah, I'm not having conversations. I'm yelling, and I'm just everybody needs to move. And if the Joes become a problem, then I'll deal with that. But
They could be mannequins for all that they're doing, although you can tell
Yeah.
that they're aware of you. They're
Yeah.
they're not doing anything.
Please note that this decreases Patch's stress by 1, and it increases my stress by 1
And-
because I'm next to him.
And Kaminski and Jumper. And
And
so I'm
Kaminski
down to
and
6
Jumper as
stress
well.
now.
Okay, you're down to 6. I'm at 7. Kaminski is at 3. Baxter is at 5.
okay, so that was productive. And this brings us to Baxter. The two pilots are somewhat slow, somewhat hesitant. There's sign of combat stress, of post-traumatic stress, but they're trying to obey Rios's command, right? Of course, they don't want this nearly helpless individual to be torn apart by what they saw on the surface, right? But the idea of walking under that acid dripping hole is somewhat demoralizing for them. So for every move they make to unstrap you or start to pick you up, they're casting a look at the ceiling and the floor. You're muted, my friend.
That's probably for the best. So yeah, first is I don't believe my stress should be going up because I can't hear all those things.
Right.
So like I'm not I'm only at 2. But anyhow, back to like so the guys are unstrapping me. I'm trying to unstrap me. I'm like, where are we gonna go? I'm like, I said, get the leg. It's like, and I'm looking at the pistol. Give me a real gun. What the hell am I gonna do with this? And really, I'm trying to help them as best I can. But I'm really kind of.
So I would like a command roll from you, Corporal.
Yes, sir. Command is my specialty. Oh man, command is my specialty. Thank goodness for those 2 stress dice.
I have you at 4 stress,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
4.
Really?
Yeah.
4? Okay.
Yeah. You would have been 5,
Sorry.
but you said you can't hear that. So
Oh yeah. Well, there was
Yeah.
a few other things I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear a bunch of stuff that happened. That's why. I
Oh,
thought I had
okay.
much less stress. I believe I was still at 2 because there were a lot of events that were happening that I wasn't privy to. That's why
Okay.
I wasn't in short range,
it's-
which is why I was.
But it's 4.
okay. That's
But
4.
it's-
All right. All right. Hey, that's cool. Hey, listen, this is all that acid. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. It's 4. I'm good with that. Okay. Well, that is a hugger, and so do I want to push this roll because I really want my leg?
I don't think you
Oh,
can.
no, I
Once
can't-
once you
I
hit
can't-
you can.
once you hit the hugger, that's it.
Goddamn,
Sorry.
you rules lawyers.
Yeah, we're surrounded by.
All right, but I'm holding it together.
That's good.
Holding it
Good
together.
job. All right. You're holding it together. Okay, so because you're holding it together but you were not successful.
That's correct. That was not.
Okay. So a moment of time is wasted, right? Their lack of cohesion, their lack of mental clarity, right, is there's a reason why Jumper took over from one of the pilots, right? She wasn't going to fly with these guys in the condition that they're in. They're not fit to fly. She needed a co-pilot, so she picked the one that she identified as being better off. But they're looking at each other for permission to unstrap Baxter. He's saying, "Give me a gun," and so then, well, who's going to get him the gun, and where would we go to get the gun? They're in that kind of mental state.
Yeah, I imagine it would be very difficult to get them to do anything, but yeah.
All right, so that means, right, Patch and the 2 hostages are down the catwalk. Rios and Kaminski and Jumper, are you following? Are you waiting?
No, I'm not gonna leave Baxter in there.
Okay.
So I think I'm sticking with Patch and the hostages because they're unarmed, right? So I'm following.
All right.
I'm their cover. So
that means Baxter in the chair can see out the cockpit from emerging at a distance. Once they're far enough away that the nose doesn't block it, you can see Patch and Rios and the two hostages booking it across the catwalk to the far side of the docking bay. No sign of Kaminski, no sign of Jumper. And likewise for Kaminski and Jumper, you heard the order to evacuate. And in a reasonable amount of time to evacuate, no evacuation has happened.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, so my intention, I kind of nod when I see Rios and Patch taking the hostages away, and I just tell Jumper, I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go get Baxter. She's a lieutenant. I can't order her around. I just tell her what I'm gonna do.
Right. She says, I'll cover you.
All right.
Right. So she takes up a position, right, so that she can see through the crack of the lowered ramp, but she can still see the top of the ship.
All right. So my intent is to move in there and see if I can get Baxter out of there. Carry him
right.
again.
Give me a mobility roll, please.
Yes, sir. So that's 5 plus 3 stress. That's fun. Okay, I got 2 successes and a face hugger. Oh, okay. 1 plus 3, 4. So
keep
I'm
it
fine.
together.
So I got 2
Still hold it
successes.
together. Right. But what is unnerving, right, is this rivulet of acid going down the outside armor of the Cheyenne. And you can hear it sizzling and bubbling away. And then when you get around to the back to look inside, see that Baxter's still in the chair. There's disorganization among the two guys who are supposed to be helping him, and the hole in the surface, the roof of the Cheyenne is big enough now for someone to climb out, which means it's almost big enough for one of those things to climb in.
All right. So, what the hell are you waiting for? Get him out of there.
All right.
I'm guessing.
Command check.
I don't know. Command check. So that's 3 and 3. Nice. All right, I got 2 successes.
Nice. All right.
Thanks to the stress dice. You're on the stress dice. And don't
Maybe
forget
there's
the
something.
leg. That's the extra
the leg.
die. Don't forget the leg.
Maybe there's something to be said for the tough as nails command style rather than the modern, right? I understand that you're feeling tired, Marine, but it's time to. All right. This brings us.
Kaminski is not his best. Like, hey, I'm the sergeant. You're supposed to obey me. Why do I have to persuade you, right?
Right.
Right. This brings us back to Rios. And you guys are reaching the end of the catwalk. You're at the door. It's sealed. This is the Montebello. It may just open for you, right? Your normal passcode, unless it has been changed. So,
Right. So I got the nap relief and I hit myself with it, so that my stress goes down.
Resets to 0.
Right. And I get to the door and I'm scanning to see if I see the alien, right? I just drawing my gun again and trying to
From this distance,
get a beat on it. Mm-hmm.
And the brightly lit conditions, you can definitely see something moving, right? And it is leaving the surface of the Cheyenne, and it is scaling the wall of the docking bay.
So is it near the back the exit where Baxter is supposed to come out?
It
Or,
would be above that.
Hey, Xenomorphs, go to the bridge.
So I'll we go to the bridge so it follows us. So I'll relay this. The aliens climbing the wall. It's behind the Cheyenne. Just be careful, but get out of there.
Copy that. Well, no, I didn't talk about. Well, they've already heard me talk about the comms. So.
So from Kaminski's point of view, you can just see a shadowy form, like directly overhead and to the rear, and it seems to be dragging something with it.
Like a snack along.
You got to go.
And this brings us to Patch.
So I'm forced to. I'm in seek cover at 11 on this turn. So it's unfortunately not very exciting. It's very much the same thing though.
But you got to get through the door.
So we hit the wall with the door on it, right? So can you scramble can you tinker with the controls, see if you can get it open? Is that within the parameters of the seek cover?
Oh, that's a good call.
Seek cover.
I just had
allows
myself
you
just hitting the door.
Yeah, it allows you to make a retreat. So you've got some, right? It's not that you are stupidly running away, right?
Okay.
You recognize that you have to leave, and it's not a covering fire, cool guy withdrawal either. It's panic. You're broken, but you've got your skills. So you hit the door. Of course, you'd want to hit the plate. It should just open. It's just cryo, right? There's no reason for it to be locked, and of course, it's locked.
So I'm going to contact, I guess, as soon as I realize what the situation is, and see if there's some way I can figure out what's going on.
Right.
Or some way
So
to unlock it.
This is at a -1.
Okay. So I've got 3 dice plus my 6 stress dice. Son of a monkey. 2 successes, 2 huggers.
Oh, jeez.
So 6 plus
The die
12.
roll. 12.
Scream. You scream your lungs out for 1 round, losing your next slow action. Your stress level is decreased by 1. So I am just.
I love it that you're.
Yeah. I hit the thing.
Just
I hit the thing. I'm trying to rip the panel off and just prying at it and just like absolutely losing my shit.
I love it that you're
fits.
just getting more and more relaxed, but you're stressing the hell out of the rest of us.
I know. So
And everyone else needs to make a panic roll. Everyone who can hear the scream, which is everybody on comms.
Oh, it is a panic roll. Oh, geez.
Everybody
Anybody in this chamber is going to hear the scream anyway, but you're also connected by comms, so you'd hear it anyway.
And it may be like, we're gonna die. We're gonna die.
So this is an
make
interesting.
a panic roll.
This is an interesting situation because I have 0 panic right now because I hit myself with an amp relief.
Right. So you're just rolling a d6.
Keeping it together. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I'm sorry. Right, and true to form, Baxter begins to start to. Oh no, it's rats. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Once again, Baxter stresses everybody out that's within short range. These freaking guys. Come on, Patch, get it together. We are gonna die. Son of a bitch. What the hell are we doing here? Why are you even taking me out of the ship?
So that's Kaminski is in short range of Baxter.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Kaminski goes up 1.
So 4.
I'm down to 5. Patch is
Yes.
at 5.
Yeah, Baxter is at 4, or did that increase your stress?
I'm stressed. I'm up to 5.
Okay, so you're up to 5.
All right. This brings us back to Kaminski.
Give me the leg. Give me the leg.
So the Marines are obeying. They've picked up Baxter. They picked up the leg, right? They're making an expeditious retreat toward Kaminski. They formed up with Kaminski. You're at the back of the Cheyenne. You're under the alien on the wall.
Okay. So I tell him, follow the lieutenant. And as I think that as soon as I move, and as soon as I'm not right under it, I should shoot a grenade at it.
Nice.
How bad could it be?
It can be very bad.
To answer the obvious question.
So,
Well, except for Newton's stuff.
all right. So let's go. Well, these grenades are smart grenades, so they should explode on impact. That's the. We'll see. Holy shit! I got 4 successes.
Okay.
4. It's of course
So
all
you're-
going to damage.
Your underslung grenade barrel. Okay.
So
And the extra successes all go to damage. That's horrifying. Okay, so kaboom.
it's gonna be
Now I need to get some dice.
talk about acid rain. All of a sudden, the Montebello turns to Seattle.
I always do that. I dump them into the dice tray, which is not where I want them. And I have to dig
You're
them
going to
out.
need that.
It says
And-
blast 9.
Blast 9 is pretty horrifying. Please give me a blast.
So what I do is I roll the 9 dice.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 on 9 dice.
Okay. So this huge explosion. You guys are running, in the shadow of the Cheyenne. You're protected from the blast, right? So we got Jumper retreating in front of you, right? Looking backwards. We got everyone else running forwards. We got Kaminski firing the grenade back up into the upper reaches of the dock. It explodes. Seems to be right on target. Boom. We got parts of grenade fragmentation come raining and spanging down all over the place. Parts of mercenary dripping and spraying around the place. And there is that high-pitched scream that you remember from inside the alien vessel, which you can almost hear like inside your own bones, like not inside your mind, not like telepathy, but it resonates with you on a physical cellular level. And these guys are retreating down the length of the Cheyenne, so that the echoes are bouncing everywhere in here. Alarms are going off. Ventilation is beginning to suck up the smoke, and we're not any closer to getting through the door of cryo.
Right.
Okay. So I'll say,
And then over the comms, we hear the calm voice of Regis Lim, who says, "Lay down your arms, and I will let you into cryo."
I know what I'm going to do. What are you doing, Rios?
no, I'm okay. I'll say, keep it together, Patch. I think the Kaminski got the alien.
Whoa.
Relax. And this is a command roll to get him to.
You got it. Go for it. And because you backed it up with some evidence, I'm going to give you a +1.
Nice.
So
Because we could hear the explosion.
You're still hearing the explosion.
I try to rip this panel. What the?
Oh, is that Rios?
There we go. That's one success.
All right, so that takes me
Sorry.
out of panic, right?
Yes,
So that-
back
yeah.
down to the below 7 marker. So,
Right.
But does it eliminate my scream restriction for this round?
yes, it ends your state of panic.
Got it. Perfect.
Okay, so the two Marines who've been on blindfold, they're not in battle dress. They don't have weapons. They're very disoriented. They likewise, like all the others, they've been tortured, right? So they're standing there on the catwalk, trying not to be in the way, trying not to show fear, right? And but one of them steps forward, right, hands shaking, and to enter in the code, right? So Pat's in his panic with his bandages was trying to rip the panel off the screen, but of course that's not possible with these bandages, right? So he's trying to enter in the code because he thinks he knows it, right? He thinks he knows what the new code is, right? And the light turns green and the door slides across.
God bless you, Marine.
Nice. Nice.
So Kaminski and Jumper and Baxter and the 2 tortured pilots come out from under the Cheyenne, and they're now on the same catwalk as you. The door to the hallway to cryo is open. Right. So you can go straight to the locker rooms. You can go left to get to cryo. You can go right to get to the upstairs briefing room, which is really the chewing out room, right? This is where the lieutenant would do their paperwork or tell you what a screw up you are. Yeah. Right. Downstairs is the break room and the.
Yeah, I could kiss you, Marine, and I'm pushing this, and I turn to Rios. Where?
So let's go to cryo. We need to get our people
So
out of there.
to-
Yeah, but I'm still at the threshold, right? Trying to cover Kaminski and Baxter, hoping they'll come through, right? So I'm letting them go, but not following immediately, right?
So yeah, my focus is on these 2 helpless Marines. That's who I care about the most right now. It's even trumping my concerns about everybody else can take care of themselves.
Right.
These 2 can't.
And this is a tunnel to, right? This is a corridor to the sick bay.
Yep.
This is not like cryo is immediately here. We still got to move.
Right. It's a corridor that branches off. The first room is cryo. You go through cryo to get to sick bay.
Right.
Right. So you're awakened, right? You're disoriented. You're moved into sick bay. They inject you with, vitamins and whatnot. And some guy was wandering around saying, "It's another beautiful day in the Corps." It's like, oh my God, please shut up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it for me.
So Patch ushers them into the corridor. Kaminski is pulling a rear guard action. Everybody meets up with Rios at the end of the catwalk. Everybody goes through the door. It's time to close the door. And the last thing we see from the docking bay, the 2 working Joes are still just standing there like they were. You see a shadow on top of the Cheyenne. And you see a shadow climbing upside down across the roof of the docking
There's
bay.
2. There's 2.
Lovely. Yes. My real plan was, if this goes to hell, I'm going to pull one face mask off of Joe, right? We got 2 nice walking grenades if we need them.
Can you try and shoot?
I thought about it too, but
Okay. All right, so cryo is ahead, right? And this is kind of, there are emergency bulkheads which close in case of depressurization or damage or things like that. But basically it's open, right? There's no sign of opposition at all.
I was
But-
going to look at the motion tracker. That's right.
All right, so you pull up the motion tracker. Enough. You pull out the motion tracker, and as Patch gets close to Cryo, right, he can see the back of a sentry gun, which is panning. Right, it's facing the door of sickbay. Right, so the back of the sentry gun is to you. Right, the sentry gun also uses a motion tracker. If you walk jauntily into Cryo, it will turn around and introduce you to a world of pain. But right now, it doesn't know you're here.
Do we have any cover in our current position from the sentry gun, or is it like on the same corridor as us?
It's
In
in
Cryo.
Cryo.
It's in Cryo, so Cryo is guarded. Yeah, jeez.
So what you can see from your position is the back of the sentry gun, like it's on its tripod, right?
Yeah.
And it's not really moving, it's just kind of scanning a little bit. And right directly in front of it is the long row of cryo chambers. And then beyond that is the entry door to sickbay. So if guys were coming from engineering, they'd be coming through that door. So either the sentry gun is going to blow them away, or it's going to murder everyone who's in cryo.
Oh, jeez.
Then we have to try and deactivate this thing.
Yeah, and I assume that like if we get against the walls, is there enough cover from the door frame for us to stay free of the motion detector? Do you think, or?
I don't think so. Patch, those things are pretty damn good.
All right.
I can disarm it, but I'd have to get there. And
Doesn't look like you're moving too fast.
shut up, buddy. Yeah, but damn it.
So- So
Go ahead.
This is a device that we're pretty familiar with.
Very familiar with. Yep.
So I'm going to ask a couple of questions just so we can get an idea of options. Right now, it's not looking at us.
Right.
So, from the specs on our experience with this thing, can we rush this thing before it turns around? Can we grab it and knock it down, or is it like bolted to the floor?
Right. It's not
Yeah.
bolted to the floor. If you were successful enough, meaning more than one success, it's entirely possible to do what you're suggesting and to knock it down,
Don't
hold
rush
it
it.
down. Right.
Okay.
Now it might go off, but you're behind it, right? So
Right.
But the cryos
So-
are in front of it.
Yeah, the other question is it possible to like crawl slowly to it and try and avoid the motion sensor if you crawl slowly, It's like that. Is that like a thing?
but this would be something I would raise the difficulty for.
Right. Yeah.
And
I
these
wouldn't do it,
things
Sergeant.
are not remotely operated, right? So it's
They can be.
programmed and set. Okay.
They can be, but you can see from its indicator lights that it is on automatic.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll
oh
do
boy,
it,
they were
Sarge.
kind of designed with all these contingencies in mind, buddy. They weren't designed by idiots.
So
Can we
So-
go? Can we go in the tubes above? Can we get us to sickbay that way? He's got those sealed off too.
but then we'd have to deal with it to get out of sickbay.
Right.
So I think this is the moment to take care of this problem.
And we need to, the goal is to secure the hostages, right? So everybody in cryo is a hostage.
Right.
If we can knock the gun down, then we can release people from cryo and get Baxter to sickbay. Both things
Yeah.
become viable options. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave the pulse rifle, and so I can move faster. And I'm going to try and rush the thing as my hands are shaking because I hit myself with napper leave twice. So I'm like,
Your agility
jittery.
is affected.
Yeah. No, it's not jittery. It's actually it's a little bit drunk, right? So you're like, I can do it. Because I have no stress, right? So I'm
Wait,
also
wait, just wait 1 second, bud. Kaminski,
Yeah.
disarm one of your grenades and shoot it towards the sickbay door. Give this thing something to shoot at for a second.
Well, but if it shoots at sick bay, it's going to take out some cryos. If I understood correctly.
All right, fine, whatever. Okay, buddy. You'll do
If it wasn't for our friends in cryo, definitely we should.
Yeah. Anthony, is there any way I can offer help? Any way I can say, watch out for here, go there? Is there any way?
Because of your familiarity with the cryo chamber?
Yeah, and just yelling, I'll watch out. I don't know if it's worth a die or not.
Or the best route.
Yeah, we can see it laid out in front.
Right.
He really just has to run fast enough from the doorway. So
even though mechanically it offers nothing, I'm still doing it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Duck.
And it has to be Bodhi because I'm limping.
You're limping. Baxter's got one leg. Takes damage from.
I'm wearing mittens.
I got one arm, so between all of us, we make like one good Marine.
1.5 people.
Yeah.
So what I will do is I'll be ready as soon as he knocks it down. I'll be moving to try and help him keep it down until the pilots can bring Baxter over to disarm it.
And I can see the aliens right behind Kaminski right now. I can see them. There's 2 of them behind Kaminski. All right. So I have a total pool of 5 minus 1 because of the nap relief. It's going to be 4.
Oh God, I don't like that.
Nah, 4. You just need 1 6. What could go wrong?
You need 2.
Go wrong? Why 2?
I think we said you needed 2.
He told you it was going to take 2 successes.
He's going to take 2 successes out.
Yeah.
No, you need 2 successes.
He's raised the difficulty.
Well,
yeah, you're drunk. Go.
That is called a 0. So I am going to push it.
Give yourself a stress, baby.
That's not the word. It doesn't matter.
I see it.
Look at that.
Yes!
Look at that.
How many are those? Is that 4 6s?
4 successes, my friend. I do it and I impress Baxter.
He just waltzes in.
I do
Hits
it
the
and
off
I
button.
impress Baxter. Yeah.
The fastest anybody has ever run in their entire life.
He sets it.
While-
He sets it to alien. Beep.
While under the effect of drugs. So
Probably what did it. You don't feel the pain of just killing yourself.
Awesome.
Running faster than
I think I run. The thing is turning around and I sort of slide like it's baseball, right? I slide to the thing and then just slap it on the.
All right. You have enough successes that it doesn't need to fire. You could disable it.
Excellent. Good job.
So there he is on the floor under this sentry gun. Everyone's waiting for the death and destruction, and it doesn't come.
Good job. All right. Get Baxter into sick bay, and let's see if we can wake up some of these bastards.
Okay. So as soon as we get into cryo, close the door behind us. Move to sick bay. Now in my triage, my attention goes to Baxter. As soon as we can get Baxter on a table.
And I help you also.
And
Not bad, kid.
while they're doing that, I'm going to start unfreezing Marines.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
So Jumper comes back from the lockers. She has uniforms for the hostages and the pilots in approximate sizes. I try these on Marines, and she's bearing pulse rifles.
Awesome.
Okay.
Nice.
That's what she was doing while you were facing death. We closed the door to cryo. They're dragging Baxter into sick bay, right? where there is an Autodoc.
Yes.
Among other things.
Are any of the, just for thematic purposes, are any of the Autodocs appendages defective?
I'm not going to tell you that now. That's something to discover later. Okay.
God, I hate these things. I hate these things.
So you're loading Baxter into the Autodoc. You got to strip him down, right? All these filthy, blood-soaked garments. Load him in. It seals. It begins its cycle. And then you
How
hear
many
the
minutes in this
calm
microwave?
tone of Regis Lim.
Oh, God.
I've got a report coming across my desk that you've loaded Corporal Baxter into the Autodoc. All I need to do is push one button. The Autodoc explodes. Now, inside the docking bay are not two eggs, like you wanted me to believe, Corporal Rios. And also, Sergeant Kaminski is still alive. So there's been quite a lot of lying going on. I've been honest with you from the beginning.
There's a really good chance Patch is about to lose his shit. So if someone better say something to him real quick, or Patch is going to respond, and it's not good.
But here's where some things start to come together, right? You never asked yourselves why I was willing to pay you so much. You never asked yourself why I was willing to go so far and dare so much to get something that was so dangerous. You've been telling yourself that I'm insane. But I'm telling you that the enemy we face in Weyland-Yutani demands this level of dedication and more. And I need the help of men like you. And this is his manipulation role, which he's backing up with all that money, which you know is real, right? All the shady stuff going on with Brigadier General Tennant and your ally, Major Ibrahim O'Bannon, right? The weird stuff going on with the Lucky Devils, right? How you were all dropped in together and then suddenly you were left alone in the hot zone. And what were they doing while you guys were getting shot up at the Weyland-Yutani plant? All the weird experiments in the Weyland-Yutani, you know. He's got all of this stuff to back up this manipulation role. If he's successful, he makes sense. And you have the option of connecting with him, agreeing, accepting what he says as true, or turning it into combat, basically.
Right.
All right. Does it make sense? So you either emotionally reject it, you reject the truth. It's like, no, it's not true. I'll never follow. You know,
We don't have
Luke
to do it
versus
that way,
Vader on the right. You're not my dad. It's impossible. Kind of rejection, or
right.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
Just one point of
Scary.
clarification. Can I hear any of this?
You can hear all of it.
Autodoc.
He's talking in your ear too, and you,
Damn it.
as an extra bonus, with your heavy weapons specialty, you can hear the ready beep of the explosive.
Oh, jeez.
And then, the sedative is beginning to relax your muscles, and for the first time in a long time, you don't feel pain, but there it is. It's beep, beep, beep. Mm-hmm. think you'll be successful?
He probably has enough dice, but
Who can
you know.
say?
This is manipulation rolls are opposed checks.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling your empathy, and he's not. You could resist it with manipulation if that makes sense to you, right? You can hear how his argument is structured. You can hear, right, how that works. But I would also argue for command, right? You're in charge, and you're
All right.
Or
not willing to
medical
follow
aid.
this guy.
Does this include our stress dice, or this probably doesn't include our
It does
stress
include
Oh,
your
yeah.
stress dice, yeah.
dice? Oh, that's nice. Okay. Helpful. Mm. Mm. Mm.
So what do we got? I see that Rios has 2 successes. 2
Whoa.
successes from Kaminski.
I've got a success, and I'm holding it together because I did get a face hugger, but
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
I've
Patch.
And
Two
then it's a roll at once, I guess.
successes, and I am also keeping it together. I rolled a
Yeah.
1 with my 5 stress.
Okay.
I rolled
So-
all my regular dice for once, actually.
So the only one who,
Actually, hang on.
oh yeah,
Baxter was at panic level 7. So he
Oh,
did
do I automatically go to 8? Or no, I don't go.
panic.
you go to
right?
8.
Yeah.
But
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
but it
I'm
would
trembling.
be it would be so, except we're in a new scene.
Oh,
We
okay.
cleared the
Yeah,
stress. We
that
had our
counts.
celebration.
Okay.
We loaded them in the Autodoc, right? So we've reset.
That's
the
true.
door.
That's true. Cool. Cool.
The only one who buys this well-reasoned, truthful sounding argument is Baxter.
The rest of us
Everyone
are just
else.
idiots. Yeah.
They're basically right. The rest of you have bought into the propaganda of the military-industrial complex. Okay. So we wind up at a wash. You kind of believe him, but it's not a compelling argument. Right?
So
But suddenly
I found-
he's a madman, seems less reasonable.
Right.
And he's got a mission, seems more reasonable.
So, since you're so honest with us, Lim, who are you working for? Are you working with somebody from Utani? How would you know about all this?
Kaminski, and let me tell you, Sergeant, it's a relief to hear that you have survived.
God, I hate this guy so much.
That's the problem. I get the feeling we should be working for him, but
Oh,
it's
I
just
believe him. and I hate him.
visceral, right? Yeah.
Everything he's saying is right. Patch doesn't. It's not that Patch doesn't believe him. He knows he's right, but he effing hates him. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Kaminski, I'm really sorry really happy that you made it, and I'm sorry to be the cause of so much stress, but of course I'm working with Weyland-Yutani to get access to their equipment and to their information. And of course, I'm working against them. I'm working with Siegson. I'm working with the Colonial Marines, believe it or not. Right? I was supposed to be having a meeting with Lieutenant Keating. You remember him? He's in charge of the Lucky Devils. But suddenly, you guys showed up, all guns blazing. I guess that was some fancy paperwork by O'Bannon.
Wait, you were gonna meet with Lieutenant Keeling? Are you working with Brigadier Lieutenant? Is that who
I
you're
have
working
been.
for? So
He's on the take from Weyland-Yutani. He's got such a pipeline of extra funds going into his personal accounts. It's obscene by my standards.
I kind of nod at the guys like I believe that. and I believe it because of the hints that O'Bannon dropped, right? It's not that that I have any evidence, but O'Bannon kind of told us that this was a bad situation. Would kind of to say so. And are the Lucky Devils heading this way, or are they still down on the planet?
They never showed up. They were never here, but I've received communication from both a contact in Weyland-Yutani and from Charles Tennant, both trying to convince me that I shouldn't worry, that, you know, everything is fine. My Weyland-Yutani rep is telling me, be careful, the Lucky Devils are coming to kill you. And Tennant is saying, hey, I'm sorry about that rendezvous, right? I was hoodwinked by my aide. I'm sending the Lucky Devils to meet with you and we'll sort this out.
I click the microphone off for a moment, and I tell the guys, gentlemen, I don't think this is good for us either way.
You guys all suck. Lim, you, Waylon, Brass, the Marines. You're all just bad. I know
Keep
they
him
all
talking.
suck.
Keep him
Shannon.
talking.
Yeah, no,
I'm like this sedative's just like.
well, I had switched up the microphone, so I go back on and I said, you know, it doesn't look too much better for you than it looks for us right now, Lim.
It's true. I can't trust Tennant. No one can trust Tennant. You know how he became a general? Weyland-Yutani knocked off his predecessor.
I know about Pulaski and McMurray. I know about them. I did not know it was your scientific friends, though.
As a sign of good faith, there's a pause, there's a click, there's a whir, and the Autodoc begins to operate on Baxter.
The last thing Baxter says is, I know about Jumper and Burke.
Jumper says, how do you know about that?
But he's out. And so what do you mean to do, Lim?
Well, unfortunately, Kaminski, we still need viable, I'm going to say embryos. We need stage 1 xenomorphs in the eggs.
What the hell?
I'm reliably informed that that's still possible, even though we have the adults running around inside the docking bay.
You know, I'm a man of, I'd like to think I'm a man of average intellect. I'm not a genius like you or Tenet. But if the Lucky Devils are coming here to kill you because the Brigadier General is on the take, they're going to kill us too.
Yes, they are.
So what is the use of chasing after these eggs? What the hell do you want with them if what you want is to stop Weyland-Yutani? All you need to do is get some footage down to the press. That's all you need to do if you want to take down Weyland-Yutani. So obviously you want something more.
Well, this has been a very expensive operation, but still.
Your
Hadley's hope.
Cheyenne, go get it.
Hadley's hope was destroyed to end this threat, was it not? You met the survivors yourselves, did you not?
Yes.
It never appeared in the news cycle. I need more than just footage of what the alien looks like. I need something that cannot be denied. Not some reactor accident, but the horror of Weyland-Yutani genetic experiments on humans who cannot defend themselves. Sacrifice a few to save everyone.
Sacrifice a few. You know, you must forget that we've seen all the people you've killed since this all started. What do you mean sacrifice a few? And we know that you've taken no prisoners since this all started. Most of them fellow Marines.
Maybe your sense of scale is different from mine, but also remember, I was a Marine and I know what we sign up for. We stand between those who cannot defend themselves and those who would harm them.
Mm.
And I know it might be hard to understand from where you're standing right now, but I'm still doing that.
He thinks we're dumb, Sarge. He thinks we're dumb.
Yeah, no, I know that. That's why I tried to remind him I have average intellect at least, not much more.
So here's my proposal. We lay a trap for the lucky devils. We let the aliens have them. We get access to the full life cycle of species XX121. We study it. We know what Weyland-Yutani's plans are for it. And then we are in a position to make real change.
This will take some thinking over. Did they tell you when the lieutenant will be here?
No, I don't really have any idea, though I suspect it will be a few days. But I'll leave you alone to think and discuss. I won't even listen in until the Autodoc cycle is complete.
Should we talk to, we've got two prisoners here.
Yeah.
I think can they offer some insight?
4.
Oh, that's right, for the two pilots too. Yeah, good call. So I'm turning to one of the in the hospital gown.
Well, they're all getting in.
Right.
This has been a long conversation, right? They got their uniforms on and they're trying to get their heads together.
Not the two we've talked to already, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What can you tell us? What's going on? What are we not being told?
Private. We were told that all of you were dead. We were told that we were exposed to information which would be the end of us. We knew things which were highly classified and that we would fall victim to accidents. And I don't know if it's torture or drugs, but it started to seem reasonable because a lot of people have disappeared. They're on shore leave and then we can't find them. Right?
Yeah. It's happened to Graham. And I tell him, I don't know if you maybe Baxter would have heard this, but Pulaski and McMurray died in the same car accident. And Pulaski had been on the planet with a mission to destroy a transmitter, one of our transmitters. All of a sudden, she and Brigadier McMurray, who was known as Upright, that's her nickname.
Upright, yep.
All of a sudden, they die in a car accident. Lieutenant becomes brigadier. So it's always been suspicious. So this bastard's giving us facts, but I don't think. But he's probably doing this for money anyway. I'm sure that Wayland Yutani have competitors who would pay him very well. Who's will pay him very well? I don't know. This is way beyond my rank.
But what you're saying is we've seen too much as well. And so,
They're coming.
they're coming to kill us as well.
They're coming to kill us too. So my short term, I don't know how Tenet would. He'd probably tell them that we've already gone over to Lim. That's the only way he would get Marines to kill us. I don't see any other reasonable way. My problem, and so now, and if we do some idiotic self-sacrifice, it's just going to be helping Wayland Yutani and Tenet.
Right.
So,
and even if we succeed and take down Lim, we'll just be killed ourselves.
Right. Now, a full alliance with Lim and harvesting embryos, though, it's not something I'm interested in. I don't know about you fellas.
Yeah, this
Jumper's been quiet. She shot a look at Patch once or twice when you're talking about people disappearing and we know too much. And there was that bar fight that she was involved in, which she didn't want to talk about. But why did that happen? And she says, we've been here for more than 2 weeks. There's been more than enough time for search and rescue to come and identify what happened to the Montebello. Were we successful in our mission? But no one has come.
Lieutenant, I'd like a way for us to survive and keep a little bit of honor, if at all possible. But I'm not seeing it right now.
There's a mantis in the docking bay. And with it, we can very slowly make it out of this system.
How many, Jumper, how many can we fit on a mantis?
We can get our unit out.
Okay.
She means everyone in cryo and the guys who are holding engineering. Right?
Yep.
That is one option. But we'd have to convince the rest of the unit. I guess we could leave them the option, right? I mean, if they wake up from cryo,
We can choose to come with us or to wait for Tenet.
or to stay here and wait for,
Yeah, for the Lucky Devils.
Is there anybody frozen that's higher rank than Kaminski?
The highest ranking officer awake is Jumper.
Right.
And everybody frozen, they are corporals and the like.
Well, Kaminski can't make this kind of call. He's just a grunt. No offense.
I just that's exactly what I told Jumper. Right. So don't take it. I just told her that.
Well, if we do this, there's no going back, right? We're deserters as soon as we.
No, not necessarily. We can say the truth. We managed to get our hands on we had to escape from the ship because we couldn't take down Lim. We
have to get to Major O'Bannon.
Right.
We rescued the entire unit.
That's true.
And we headed straight back. That's right, because if we join Lim, there's no going back.
Right.
And we would lose whatever self-respect we have left.
And when the Devils land, they're not going to be up for, a nice conversation to bring them up to speed that we, have opposed Lim this whole time. They're we know how this is going to play.
Yeah, Tenet's already told them that we're traitors.
Right.
So our only hope is that he hasn't kicked that upstairs to hide his own involvement, see? And get into Major O'Bannon.
mean, either
It's
way,
got a
we've
great
got
Marine name.
either way we would have a ship full of Marines. Then that's a compelling argument, right?
Right. At least we got our people out of the line of fire and out of this hopeless situation, right?
The question remaining is, if everybody with everybody who agrees, right, is are we going to wait for the devils to show up and be engaged with the aliens and use that as a distraction for our escape, or are we going to try to leave before they get here?
And Kaminski, you say the aliens, and I honestly think I kind of forgot about them a little bit, like not completely, but they weren't four of mine because of everything happening going on. Anthony, is there a way for? I mean, we've closed the door, but like we haven't heard anything. Is there like Kaminski? Do you have your motion detector?
Yeah, I have it at hand.
We should look and see what our situation is.
Yeah.
Okay. So, checking. There is movement in engineering. There's movement here in cryo. There's no movement in the docking bay.
Mm-hmm.
And on this section of the ship, this lower section of the ship, there is no movement anywhere. The higher reaches of the ship, it's a little harder to make out. There is of course some movement around what's probably the bridge and the command quarters. But you're at one end of the ship, and that's at the other end of the ship. It's at extreme range, so it's.
There's another issue. We should try to get in contact with the people in engineering. We can't just leave them behind.
Can I get a supply roll for the motion detector?
3, right?
I say we get the people out of
No
cryo ready.
whammies.
Get the people out of cryo ready to roll, and first, and then make contact with engineering and offer a solution. Right? We could just cut and run.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to do that without Lim picking up. We need Lim to figure out what we're doing when it's too late.
Right, and there's always the chance that he's booby trapped the mantis, but that's our only option, really.
How long is it going to take to get everybody out of cryo?
Not very long. It takes a little while for people to adjust to being out of cryo, right? But,
Right.
Probably less time it's going to take to fix me up.
Probably.
I don't know, man. That cryo, that Autodoc thing does a cesarean section in like a minute and gets you back on your feet. So, those things are pretty good.
We need a bank attack.
Yeah, back
attack,
tank.
tank.
I was thinking about that.
Okay. So, what do you want to do? The conversation has naturally found a position of ambiguity. You've talked around all the possibilities, but there's no one to say yay or nay, right? Jumper is a lieutenant because she operates a landing vehicle. She's a pilot. She needs to have a certain amount of rank in order to do her job, but she's not in, combat command.
Right.
But once the whole squad's out of cryo, I'll just lay it out, briefly saying we have this problem,
These are our options. Yeah.
The brigadier's done this. It's coming here to kill us and Lim, and this is what we believe, and we think we need to get out of here in the Mantis and get back to Major Urbana. Obviously, I can't order any of you to do this. but I don't want to leave anybody behind who can help it. So let's do it. Let's draw an imaginary line in the metal. Let's draw an imaginary line in the metal.
Right.
So I tell them, anybody who chooses to stay, I think you're gonna be killed either by Lim or by Tenet's forces, but we won't force you. We just ask you that you don't interfere with us getting back to Obama.
Okay. So
Roll for that.
Because a crazy plan would be to try to get Lim
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
and take him prisoner or something and take him with us.
And yes, my ringtone is Leia saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi."
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, is that Anthony making it sound that we're supposed to interpret, or because it's a little bit buzzy?
right. So the Autodoc is reporting a series of failures as it comes to the leg reattachment.
Oh no.
Not authorized for this action. Please contact ship's surgeon. These kinds of messages. And but it is capable of finalizing the amputation process, and it's asking for permission to continue. And it brings the patient around in order to answer this question, right? Would you like to go into cryo sleep so you can be transported to a medical facility capable of handling this operation, or would you like to be fitted for a prosthetic?
Make sure you check the box for terms and agreements before you do.
He's signing informed consent.
Informed consent. That's exactly what it is.
I'm not dead. What do you mean? No, yeah, I like to keep my leg, but what do you mean you can't do it? What's wrong with you? Pumping on the side of the machine. What the hell's wrong with this?
This unit is not capable of performing that surgery.
Kaminski, what the hell's our situation? What's going on?
Can you? I'll check
okay.
the Autodoc. Can you attach a prosthetic right now?
It can. You can outfit him for a prosthetic.
Okay.
Outfit for a prosthetic. But does it have a prosthetic on it? Can I get out of here and start using it?
But it will identify to the personnel available what cabinet to go to get the prosthetic.
Okay. So I give him a briefing while Bodhi and Patch go pick a leg for Baxter.
Jeez, so you're telling me that there's no way I can go into cryo and make it any place to get my leg reattached because we'll all die anyway.
Most likely.
So, yeah. So this is my only shot. I'm just surprised I'm alive, Sarge. I'm surprised I'm alive.
Think about it. If we ever get to kick Lim in the nads, you'll be the man to do it.
All right, fine. Yeah. We can
rebuild it.
All right, fine. I'm not really happy, but yeah. Get the hell out of here. Let's go ahead. Let's do it. Yeah. Fit me. Do the thing.
Baxter, Marine. He was an alien.
If it makes you feel better, Baxter, I picked a leg the jumper liked.
Does it have a
Thanks.
a beer bottle opener? That's the question.
You're a real
She likes
pal.
the lightweight titanium ones. Yeah. with a weighted heel for kicking.
A beer bottle. Yeah.
So Baxter is restored to health. and all critical effects are removed. And with the aid of some painkillers over the next couple of days, he will adapt to walking on a leg which replicates the function of his original leg.
All right.
Right. It's not augmented. It's just.
Yep. It's matched.
That sounds good.
Can I get my hands and stuff looked at?
Yeah.
Do we have time for that, Sarge? For me to go in?
Yeah, do it because he says he thinks it's going to be a couple of days, so might as well.
Careful, Patch. If it brings you around, once you sign a consent, we're gonna have to call your clubs.
Okay. Once Baxter is released from the Autodoc, Lim doesn't contact you again, but the computer consoles in this suite of rooms, in cryo and in sickbay, all gain access to a series of files. This is information that he has collected or stolen, such as, right, from the Prospero colony, right, about exactly who Weyland-Yutani is experimenting on and what they're doing. And this includes founding colonies in dangerous situations to see what products can be developed to require these people to pay to live there, right? This includes exposing them to radiation and then selling them a daily dose of not quite good enough radiation pills, right? Building a better future is plastered everywhere.
Can we download some of this?
It's available to transfer to your field devices, sure.
Perfect.
I, for one, I'm going to sit there and just keep looking and looking and looking at it. Going up, just scrolling through page after page after page. They all suck. He sucks. They suck.
The Autodoc replaces Patch's bandages and cleans the wounds, but you don't feel appreciably better after its treatment.
And you can count to 0.
Right.
However,
So-
your recovery time was 3 days.
Right.
Right. So today was better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today, and then some function, So you're advised to remove the bandages and start taking these antibiotics and these painkillers in this course of action over the next few days.
Right. I'll do the same as well because my arm is also shot. So
Yeah.
All right.
So the Autodoc fixed our other injuries, like our guts and a good job.
It does an excellent job on Rios and even removes some shrapnel that had escaped, other people's notice.
And the lesson is there any benefit? Because I think my foot was healing in 2 days, but I don't know if there was any benefit.
It's already been 2 days, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how long was it been since we got injured? I lost track of time. Because I had a 3-day
You have
recovery
a
as well.
variety
Right.
of injuries.
Right.
But given the preparation for going into the ship, the investigation of the ship, the escape from the ship, getting in the Cheyenne, the launch to orbit, right? And he's there's not a lot of benefit for going through for the Autodoc for him, right? And it's many hours working on Baxter, and then many more hours failing to do a good job for Patch,
Right.
and then many more hours after that for Rio. So a lot of time has passed, and you've got communication established with the men in the engine room, and everyone is beginning to accept the fact that a squad of tenants, hand-picked Marines, are coming to end a threat. Now, some of them are arguing that the Lucky Devils might be being lied to. They think that you're traitors and they're here to wipe you out. And some of them have had run-ins with Keating and Keating's boys, like Jumper did, and they don't trust them, and they think they're just as dirty as Tennant. And some of them are fiercely loyal to Tennant, and they think he's being slandered by Lim, and it's O'Bannon that's bad. Right? So there's a lot of, the longer the conversation goes on, the more speculation is festering into fact.
Yeah, that goes back to a question. When the plan is laid out, should we make a command roll or something?
And we have the evidence, right, to show them because we downloaded copies of it. Yeah.
So you need to have a formal declaration of what it is that you're going to do,
Of
and
intent.
the people have to follow you, and that will be the end of mission 5, and your plan is mission 6.
Right.
So what's the plan?
Right. Yeah. The plan is with whoever will join us, we'll try to take the Mantis and get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay.
I was going to, and I was going initially to suggest, maybe setting up another destruct on the Montebello, but I won't, because some people might just stay behind. Hey,
Right. Take their chances. Yeah. Maybe they
I'm
won't
not
kill
gonna
him on sight. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds
So
good.
this-
And I will assist the command roll.
And so will Jumper.
Yeah.
So you got the lieutenant, the sergeant, and Corporal Rios working together. So it's 2 additional dice.
All right. So, question: do we still have the stress? Or have we?
No.
No stress by the time of this. Okay. So
By the time this rolls around, everybody has eaten. They're warm. They're wearing clean clothes. Their buddies aren't dying anymore. And Lim has
And
left
I'm not-
completely alone.
I am not going to help in any way or say anything while they say this. I'm simply going to stand behind them with the smart gun strapped on.
that's like 2 dice, Anthony. Come on.
No, I'm just going to stand there. I'm just going to stand there. And after I've showed, Patch and Bodie, look what I can do. And I like, take the next cartridge for the gun and I slap it against my leg. Clunk. That's to load it in.
If
that
we make it that
I'm
way,
just
you're
gonna
gonna have to lobby
Just going to stand behind them stoically.
for a compartment for an extra load of ammo. In the
Custom.
All right, so on 5 dice, 2 successes.
Yay.
Okay.
Never matched Bodhi's 4 successes.
That's an amazing roll at an amazing time.
Yes.
Okay. So this mission draws to a close. You form up with the Marines from engineering, and using the ducts, you can get to the Mantis, right, without having to wander jauntily through the landing bay. Make your run to the Mantis, and using Jumper's command overrides, can get out. Right. Leaving Lim, the Montebello, the aliens, and Lim's forces to their own devices. Yeah.
And the cash. Damn it.
And the cash, all in the Cheyenne. All right. And that brings mission 5, right, which was called Semper Fidelis.
With a question mark? Yeah.
Okay.
To a close.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, jeez. That was pretty
I think it's-
stressful. Yeah.
I don't think something's wrong with this leg. I keep walking in circles like it's a little too short. You sure got the right leg, Patch?
Yeah,
Cash?
the problem is you're going to have to buy shoes with 2 different sides. Your left foot and your right foot are not the same shoe size.
Oh, right leg.
It's all-
I
it's
thought
all
it was
they
your
have.
left leg.
And I've got your knee bending like a dog, not like a person.
Yeah. I got 2 left feet. Yeah, that's awesome. My third wife always used to say that.
Nice.
That was cool.
Right.
That was cool.
I had a
Very
question
good.
about the manipulation roll mechanics. right? They are pretty clear, pretty explicit. You either do it, if they're successful and you are unable to resist, you do what they say, or you have to start a fight, basically.
I think that this is a problem since skill checks have been a thing. Social interaction on PCs is inherently problematic.
Yeah.
So I mean,
player agency.
I play by the rules, but they're inherently problematic.
Yeah.
I remember your friend Kenson in Mutants and Masterminds. He just flat out states social interaction does not work on PCs, right? And then some people say no, it ought to work on PCs. So
well, I think you can flip it on its head, because I mean, like I would have loved to have had to go through that, but like I was losing consciousness, so I just decided that everybody sucked at that point, which makes perfect sense. But I kind of flip something like that on its head and think, okay, if you think of it as failing a saving throw, because I mean, like, mathematically, you can make these things the same way.
Well,
it's
that's
like,
what it is. That's what it is, right? That's exactly what it is.
At the end of the day, it's what it is, but it constrains your freedom of choice. And if RPGs are about choice, then I'm not saying it blocks choice, but it constrains it down an avenue. You either do or attack, right? So there is some external constraint upon choice, which might be problematic.
It's a matter of taste. It's a matter of taste,
right?
But it's always been a difficult thing to handle, and different games do it different ways. I'm
sorry. I get people that don't like it, right? That talk about the agency argument, removing the choice, using the argument that you just exposed there, Aloy. So what I'm about to say in no way invalidates that, right? Like I get it, and I don't argue against that. For me, I don't mind it, because for me, those constraints make it even more interesting for me as a player, right?
That's valid. Yeah.
So like, situations where I don't want a GM that's going to tell me what my character is thinking and feeling all the time.
Right.
But there are moments where I want the GM to tell me that, right? Because that's the reality of the situation, and whether that be the result of a roll or the GM just saying, "Look, this is what's going on, and you're scared."
Right.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I find that as a player to be more interesting. But that's me, and by no means am I going to sit here and say that's how everybody should play.
But I think the redeeming value is that the mechanic constraints to a degree, but it doesn't force a specific outcome. So you
it's an A or B.
At least have an option. It's either A or B. Right?
And the fact that the option is to attack redeems it for me.
That's
Did you see this?
Weird for me.
Can I just do B?
It's based on aggression. So I think I would want to interpret aggression as, you start an argument with them, or you actually do start a fist fight, you're coming with me. No, I'm not. And, you start fighting, or, we're taking over your company and here's all the reasons why. And you're like, no, I'm calling my lawyers and we're going to fight this, but you're going to lose. That kind of situation.
In Burning Wheel, they offer the opportunity to do it, but they use it as a method to resolve player deadlock, not PC deadlock, so player. So say, for example, that we just discussed, do we join Lim or do we go against Lim? And say that's it. And say that half of us are locked against the others. Like, no, we cannot join Lim. Well, we need some way to resolve it, right? And so what the game will have you do is, put it into the fiction. Put the deadlock into the fiction and roll for it. And you have to agree to either, let's resolve this issue. Whatever comes up as a result is what you do. Or always the alternative is, if you're if you really can't compromise, then I guess it's up to combat, right? So you either abide with it or start a PC versus PC fight, because it's not going to resolve itself any other way. So it's sort of like a last resort. And most people will just go like, okay, well, the dice decided that, I guess I could be talked into it, right? So
one of the reasons why I like this kind of thing is for the groups or the player who feels uncomfortable about a lot of role play, or they don't have the gift of gab, or they have to have a debate against one player who's very articulate and they just don't get it, or so, and they want to offload that to the dice and see, did I convince you with the dice? And I would prefer that we just role play a debate and you are convinced by Lim's persuasive arguments and evidence or not. But I like the fact that it's there and really clear and really short, saying for one character to manipulate another character, regardless of PC or NPC, it's an opposed roll, and the outcome determines if you understand that you should do what they say. But here's the out: you can vehemently oppose, even though everyone else thinks it's okay.
Jose thought that was so objectionable.
Yeah.
Disagrees completely.
That's a complete. Oh, there he is. Okay, but the thing. I mean, as I don't like necessarily when a game master, like through fiat, just decide tells me this is what you feel, and all that kind of stuff. However, and I used to be like, I was much more against social kind of mechanics at one point, but the way I look at this, if you look at how the mechanics in this game work, they inform you of what your emotional state is. I mean, to a certain degree. They don't give you all of them, but okay, it tells if you're panicking or you're starting to lose your crap. It doesn't necessarily tell you what you have to do, but it'll tell you like what you're capable of doing based upon your state. I mean, which is not a heck of a lot different than like I'm going to walk over here. No, you're not, Baxter. You have one leg. It's I mean, but pretty much, it gives you some kind of condition, and like in that thing where you get manipulated, the way I kind of chose it is like, okay, are you simply not buying it, or does it trigger your like, oh yeah, he's right, but you have this fight or flight option, open to you as well, because once again, you're in this, you can be in this emotional state. So I think it's decent because it narrows your choices, but everything narrows your choices. My choices were fairly limited during the session, and it was still fun. I just had to decide what I was going to do. So I think you can't look at it as too much of a straitjacket, but kind of just more informing. Okay, what are my choices, or what's my character's emotional state at this moment when I choose to act or whatever, etc.
But you can see that I've been laying the groundwork for this conversation. I had no idea when it would happen or when you'd be in a situation where it was possible to have a long conversation with Lim, but he's been little by little working to establish his credentials.
So we could do it.
Hey, again,
You
you
broke up,
broke up
Jose. We
real
couldn't
bad.
make up.
Yeah, my connection is unstable. We have to put Baxter in a box so we could have this conversation with him.
I know, like there's no way you can do it otherwise because you keep interrupting and I'm gonna kill you, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's true.
So do you still want to kill Lim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still, I mean, despise him, and I don't believe that he's not doing this for money, right? But it's gone way down my list. Plus, he's a witness.
And he did get a couple of our friends killed, at least, right? A bunch of us.
He had a bunch of people killed, and he tortured the Marines on the Montebello. He's an asshole.
True. Yeah.
I hate them all. Baxter just hates them all now. It was bad enough when he started to realize like we can't let anybody have these aliens because what's Weyland-Yutani going to do with them? And but I mean, does he believe for a second that like Lim won't use these to his advantage as well? It's like, hey, no, and even so, even if Lim is on the up and up about what his intentions are, the ends don't justify those kind of means. So it's overall, just Baxter just wants to load magazine after magazine into the gun until they're all dead.
Probably Kaminski hates Tenet more, but he's a much harder target, right?
Say the last part.
Tenet is a harder target, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
All right. Well, I've got to feed some hungry animals, and I betcha Craig's shipment is about to make some fluffy pancakes.
with chocolate chips.
Nice.
Yeah, regular pancakes are no longer acceptable by my 8-year-old daughter. So now they must contain chocolate chips.
Well, it's about a 12 or 14 hour drive, but like if you make some for dinner, late dinner, I'll be there.
Okay. I mean, I make good pancakes. It ain't worth the drive.
Okay, good. Good to know. I'll just go.
Now, when I make prime rib, hop in the car.
All right.
It's good seeing everybody.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
Take it easy. That was most fun I've had, like sitting there role playing, being out unconscious in a long time.
You've had a lot of practice, so that's high praise.
No, it was cool. It was cool. I really kind of just enjoyed just kind of sitting back and listening, not in character to everything that was going on.
And the best part is that I was the back is and I haven't been to make sure.
Yeah,
So that's like
Say it again.
You're breaking real bad. Yeah.
my connection is bad. The Baxter is going off on Wayland Yutani while Ivan's wearing a shirt. So that's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
best part.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, hey, it is what it is.
There's something about sometimes just sitting back and enjoying the show, right? But without the stress of what do I choose now, and is this the right thing to do? Is this not the right thing to do? Oh, I remember what I was going to say. The luck of the dice, right? This is something that more simulation-y type games give you, that the more story type games can sometimes confuse, right? I guess you can do it in both, right? Because you could, if this were a story type game and you get a lot of successes, you can narrate everything. But I just find such satisfaction, and there was a real good chance that I was going to die here.
Oh yeah.
But then the roll comes up, right, and it's like, oh my god, this is a stupid plan, and and there's
You
no
better roll a
monetization.
push roll, right? No
Yeah,
successes,
exactly.
and then
Right,
it's gonna happen now.
But there's no narrative thing to, I succeeded really well, so now I'm going to narrate that I just slid in there, and it's like, no, that was my plan.
Right.
I had it set up from the beginning, and so it just and it's funny because a couple of sessions back of Hyperborea, the exact same thing happened, right? With the guy holding the orb was going to kill all of us, and Jose is like, no, hit the orb. It's okay, I'll hit the orb, and then I just roll like a crit,
right.
and it's on camera. I'm not cheating, it's awesome.
And we got you those 4 6s. I was like, no, he didn't. No, I'm thinking he's pushing. He's not going to get one. He's a dead man. There's no way he's getting 2 6s. Statistically, that's not very likely on 4. I was like, what? So that was awesome. Just that's one of those moments we live for. I actually, the other thing I thought about is like I kind of enjoyed the whole feeling of being like helpless during the whole session, or like it was an interesting feeling just from Baxter's standpoint, that really, how frustrating it is, especially for this guy who's used to just taking charge or like doing his thing, and like completely helpless.
And that must be a little taste of what that's kind of like in real life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very small taste, but it must feel a lot like that, right? You're in pain, you can't help. Your buddies are doing all they can to help you. You feel like you're hindering them, but you want to live, and it's a nice representation of probably what it is like in real life, right? You're just like, there's an alien is there, we got to get him out of there, even though the smart thing to do is just run, but
pretty visceral. And having one of those damn freaking guys like pulling my big body out there, which is probably a little lighter because it's one less leg,
They had to carry the leg anyway, so
right. No, they had to carry the leg. I'm thinking like to hold the pistol, like in case anything comes in, in the sight, I'll just shoot it. Probably ineffectually over and over again before it kills us all. So
all of a sudden, I have this picture of getting into the ship and Jumper starting in, isn't it? All of a sudden, one of the pilots said, Baxter, what do I do with this?
Oh God.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put experience points in the group, and we'll talk about them through the week,
right.
and start thinking about your plan for mission 6, because now like everything is on you. You're gonna tell me what
What the mission is.
mission
right.
6 is. Right. So
Right.
I'm gonna tell you how long it takes to get back to civilization. That's all.
We're going to start eating each other. Months
So,
go by.
until next
Okay.
time,
Take it easy.
You
take
too, guys.
care.